So I'm going to talk about the idea of basically archons. Now, archons are thought to be these kind of like spiritual parasites that exist in the unseen realms. And just as humans have an outer world and we inhabit an outer world, we have an inner world. And like the way that it always goes, as above, so below, our inner world is reflective of our outer world, and vice versa. And the archons, mainly what they do is they lord over, they control the world, they manipulate us all. They have us all basically dancing to their tune in a gigantic patchwork of different intersecting humans, realities, actions, in order for the chief purpose of keeping us busy within this physical plane so that they can extract and harvest the spiritual energy that humans put off, because that is their sustenance. That's one idea. Now, the other idea is that they are simply just a psychological construct, and it's a lot more Jungian, which I will get to. But no one even knew about the archons or had any idea to think anything about them until the discovery of the Apocryphon of John, which was amongst the Nag Hammadi, discovered in Egypt in 1945 by happenstance. Some farmer who was just playing around ended up, I think he was playing soccer, and ended up knocking over one of these gigantic clay jars, and they found all of these scrolls inside. So the idea is that they're these, like I said, they're these parasites, and they whisper thoughts within your mind in order to suck off your energy. Now, if you've ever studied Hermeticism or esotericism in general, you'll know that parasitism is one of the main things that is one of the reoccurring themes that is often talked about. Now, the way that the Hermetists view the universe is they basically view it in different layers. There's the mind of God that's at the very top. You've got the mental plane where all of your thoughts go. You've got the astral plane below that, which is the realm of dreams. And then you've got, the physical world below that. And it is thought often that when you actually have a dream, particularly a nightmare, and it inflicts you with a massive wave of fear, that what that is actually doing is it is a negative spirit that does not have its own physical body, but it is whispering negative thoughts into your mind, inflicting you with this nightmare so that it can feed upon the terror, because that is its sustenance. And this is a reoccurring theme over and over and over again. Now, it's believed that there is a hierarchy of these archons, and there are 7 of them that are associated with the planets. I know there's more than 7 planets, but that's what they thought at the time. There is 7 of them associated with the planets. There is one chief archon, supreme archon, above all of them, known as Yaldabaoth. And then there are various archons that are below those 7. Some even say that there are 365 archons, one for every day of the year. Now, a lot of people see them as like the cosmic jail guards, those that just keep us locked in this realm. This realm is actually thought to be a simulacrum, a simulation, if you will. And it may have even, they believe that it was even created by the Archons, or created by Yaldabaoth, in order to trap us humans, spiritual entities, into the physical bodies that we inhabit, inside of this world, so that they can just keep us distracted, busy, running on the hamster wheel, jumping through the rat race over and over and over again, setting off a high amount of emotions in order for them to simply feed upon it. Now, they're thought to be extremely clever when it comes to how they play humans off against one another, and how they all basically wire us together like a gigantic circuit breaker so that they can get the most massive amount of energy extraction out of us possible. And that might sound absolutely absurd, but when you look at the way that our world is structured, it does have a lot to do with keeping you distracted, keeping you running in the rat race, just trying to get the next thing, the next job promotion, the next girlfriend, the next PR in the gym, whatever it is. You stay stuck in this sort of mentality, and a lot of times once you actually reach it, you're just like, okay, well, that was nothing, and now I've achieved my goal. What now? And I think that goes down to the difference between the egotistical goals that we have, and then the soul goals that they have. And the Archons want us basically locked in the egotistical goals. The way that it works is extremely similar to the Matrix. The whole idea about the Archons is, it's almost like the writers of the Matrix read this and then came up with their own idea for it. I'm going to park that, but another thing I want to mention is, although they are extremely clever when it comes to manipulation, lies, deception, distortion, they do not have the same creative power, the same creative potential to create things that humans do. They don't have the divine spark. So therefore, they are extremely jealous of humans. It's almost like an AI. It's very, very, very similar to the AI. There's so many parallels. Although I wouldn't say AI is necessarily trying to keep us trapped in a cosmic prison, but you can try to input things into AI. You can get good stuff out of an AI when a human is directing it. However, an AI can't really create any kind of art on its own that really has the capability to stir the human soul. And that is essentially how the Archons work as well. They're not able to create things out of whole cloth the way that we are. There are the Matrix. Basically, it's almost exactly the same, because it's believed that, like I said, this world is a simulacrum or a simulation. And lots of people, even lots of scientists now, are saying that they do give credence to the theory that this whole entire reality, which appears to be solid, which appears to be consistent, might actually be a simulation. Look at wave-particle duality and the way that the quantum mechanics has basically figured out that, things don't really, substance of the universe, matter, doesn't really exist. It's only in wave form, and it doesn't actually gain solidity and become a particle until it becomes observed. And that really, really reminds me of the way that you have rendering optimization within a video game. If you're in the video game and there's 10 levels of the video game, it doesn't need to take up all the hardware resources to load all 10 levels of the game. It can load one level or even segments of that level, and the other ones, since they're not active, they don't really exist. So it's very, very, very similar to that. Now, some people think it's more like, yeah, okay, maybe this has some credence, maybe there are some scientific theories about this, but the whole world just being a cosmic prison, that sounds a little bit strange. So some people think that, maybe they're just more in your head, and you gain Archons, or not gain Archons, you attract Archons or Archon-like entities as you stay lost within your negative habits, within your negative behaviors. When you have a particular pattern that you get locked in because you end up doing it over and over again, and then you end up in a negative cycle over and over again, and you're putting off the negative energy. Let's say you just can't stop having people abuse you. You get up, you go to some other place, it's completely disconnected from all of your previous existence, and you find yourself in the exact same situation. Well, maybe that's just the Archon, or an Archon-like entity which only exists within your mind, and it's like, maybe Neuroticism. On the other hand, if you look at all of the vast amounts of different life that exists within the physical realm, would it not make sense that there would be spiritual life as well? There would be entities that would be completely unseen, but would still be affecting us nonetheless. I don't know, I'm not sure which one. I think that it does present some very interesting points of view, and I think it's a very interesting concept, but I still believe, and even the Gnostics themselves in the text said that humans completely have the capability to overpower them. I mean, if you want to do what you want to do, then no Archon is going to be able to stop you. Because at the end of the day, I mean, all they can really do is like suck energy off us. Whereas humans, we have true free will, and I mean, we can stop participating whenever we want. So I don't believe that you should live your life worrying about Archons or whatever. But it is kind of interesting because it's kind of like a spirit of distraction, spirit of living in the now, not really thinking about what comes after, stuck in the hustle and bustle. Maybe you are psychopathic even. Maybe you have negative tendencies or whatever. And that really is it reminds me a lot of the culture that we live in. The culture that we live in, hustle culture, everything is jumping from one thing to the other. Oh, I got to get my credit score up. Oh, I got to save for a mortgage. Oh, I got to get a better job. Oh, I got to do this. I mean, we really don't have much time for what would be really the important stuff. And a big part of the Archons, or if they exist, their supposed power is keeping us locked in that negative mental state, and just basically being, distracted, unable to think. Some people even believe that there is a type of soul trap, and that once you die, your spirit goes to another plane, and then your spirit is, because you're not your body. I mean, I'm not my body. I am the animating essence within my body. The spirit, if I was just dead and I was here, it would only be my body. It would not be me. I am the energy, and I'm not just my brain. Even if you put somebody else, even if you gave my brain and put my brain in someone else's body, it would have the characteristics of my brain. Perhaps it would have some of the memories of my brain, although we're learning now that it doesn't even seem like all of our memories and information is stored specifically in our brain. Still, it would not be me, because I am my spiritual essence. And once I die, my spiritual essence will escape from here, and in some ways it will be liberated. But some people believe that once my spirit parts from my body after death, that these Archon-like entities are going to hijack that experience and show me all of these weird visions, and then impersonate my loved ones and show me the negative things that happened in my life, and tell me that I need to go back. I need to go back and reincarnate into a new body once again in order to essentially undo the negativity that is weighing down my soul. So They do that, but it's a trick. It's a trick in order to keep you locked within a reincarnation cycle so that you are constantly inhabiting a new body, which gives these Archon entities the ability to feed upon your energy and thus maintain their sustenance over and over and over again. It is really extremely like the Matrix. So I don't know about that. It's a crazy theory. I'm not sure about it. That's what some people say. But I will say that it's interesting because Archon-like entities have parallels in a lot of other different modes of thought, religions and practices. I mean, you've got the Devas in Zoroastrian, which are very, very similar. You've got the Māra in Buddhism. You've got the Islamic jinn. And they are thought to be these energy-sucking, like invisible vampires. And then you've got demons in Christianity. So lots of different parallels. And you'll find that when you start studying lots of the major world religions, a lot of the same themes, ideas, characters, concepts are repeated over and over again, but simply under different names. So, I'm not sure whether they exist. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to make them the center of your world. I think that might even be making them more powerful. But nonetheless, I think it helps you to think about things and also to kind of segment what's important and what's not important. So, I probably will do more research on them. And then they go so well with the whole simulation theory, which I'm probably going to do a video on very, very soon. So what do you guys think? I think these Archons are real. Are they the demonic entities that are whispering in your ears? Are they simply psychological patterns and that neuroticism that has built up in your mind that is telling you to do things over and over again? Or is this just all fanciful nonsense created by some flat earth, non-thinking sages, if they could even be called that, from the past that didn't know what they were doing and basically were just on crazy LSD trips or whatever? I don't know. What do you guys think? So I think that's about it. Peace.